Adam Page and FTR's relationship continues to blossom, plus we have tons of news out of New Japan. What's up, everybody? Eric here from That's Wrestling. Thanks for tuning in to today's News Wire. Let's just get into it. Over on Being the Elite yesterday, FTR and Adam Page had a little talk in the back hallway where Adam Page thanked FTR for the save from the Dark Order on Dynamite, and then they went out for a beer together, so that relationship continues to grow. Then we have Brandon Cutler and Peter Avalon. They have a bit of a powwow out back talking about how they just keep losing, and Brandon Cutler is not happy with Peter Avalon trying to cheat to win, because if they win through nefarious means, it's not really a win at all, and Peter Avalon kind of takes that under advisement and heads off. And then lastly, we have Brodie Lee basically running down his underlings because they can't do anything right, blames Evil Uno for the failures of Silvers and Reynolds. So that's kind of where that stands. The Dark Order segments have kind of been the highlight of the Being the Elite episodes the past few weeks, so they're definitely worth checking out, at least those segments if you don't watch the rest of the show. Then tonight on AEW Dark, we have like 12 matches on the card, but 4 of them I think might be of interest for people. We have SCU versus Santana Ortiz versus Private Party. So we got a triple threat here against some of the higher level teams. And then we have Brandon Cutler and Peter Avalon taking on FTR. I'm guessing that does not go in their favor. And then Michael Nakazawa and Pineapple Pete will be taking on Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. That should be a pretty fun match. And then we have Orange Cassidy taking on Serpentico, not the Sammy Guevara one, I'm assuming the actual Serpentico. So that's what's happening on AEW Dark tonight. So let's move over into New Japan news. For night 4 of the Summer Struggle shows, which is happening tonight? No, tomorrow, Friday. Tomorrow's is actually not going to be, so night 3 is not going to be aired on New Japan World, but night 4 on Friday is, and it's going to be headlined by another match with Suzuki and Nagata. Their match at the New Japan Cup was pretty awesome, so I'm looking forward to seeing this match happen again. I'm guessing they're just going to chop and punch and forearm the crap out of each other for a good 20 minutes. So should be a good one. And then last night, well, it was nighttime for me at least, New Japan had a press conference and they announced a whole load of things. But at Sengoku Lore, they did announce that they're going to be having a show on August 29th to finish out the Summer Struggle series of shows at the Jingu Baseball Stadium. So we have the Summer Struggle in Jingu, and there's a whole bunch of things going to be happening there. We're going to have a new King of Pro Wrestling tournament, at least they're calling it the King of Pro Wrestling. Basically what's going to happen is this is going to be a stipulation tournament, and then at the end of the year, whoever's kind of the provisional holder of the title will get the King of Pro Wrestling Cup. And all of these matches are going to be a stipulation of some kind. So they're going to start off on the 26th with 4 singles matches. The 8 competitors will bring a stipulation to the match, which is then voted on by the fans on what type of match they want to see. It could be anything. We could have 2 out of 3 falls matches, we could have ladder matches, we could have no DQ matches, we could have all types of matches, cage matches. So we will see. It sounds like they're going to start to head down and doing a lot more gimmick matches that they rarely ever do. We rarely see anything. We rarely even see a 3-way in New Japan, and now they're going to be basically making an entire year-long championship type of stipulation that's going to happen throughout the year. So I think we're going to see a lot more gimmick matches in New Japan, at least this year and probably next, as they're planning on continuing this into 2021, where they're going to reset it. So whoever's holding on to the provisional title, if you will, at the end of this year will get the King of Pro Wrestling Cup, and then it'll reset and they'll do it all over again in 2021. I don't know when they're going to start that, if they're going to start it right at the beginning, or if it's going to be mid-year like they're doing this year. So we'll see how that plays out next year, I guess. And then we have Hiromu Takahashi will be facing Taiji Ishimori in the IWGP Jr Heavyweight Championship match. This is coming on the heels of Taiji Ishimori attacking Hiromu post-match with Evil at Sengoku Lord. And then we're going to have Naito facing off against Evil for the double championship of the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships, as Naito lost the match at Dominion to Evil through tons and tons of interference from the Bullet Club. And then we have New Japan announcing, now that the Lion Break Collision shows are over, they're going to replace it with the NJPW Strong show starting August 7th, same time slot at 10 p.m. Eastern, but details about what the show is actually going to be are limited at this time. We should hear more in the coming week or so. And then lastly, it has been announced that yes, the rules around the IWGP title say that the title has to be defended at least once every 6 months, but they are not going to be counting the time where there was a state of emergency. So this is going to address, I believe, Hiromu's long time between title defenses, because it'll be slightly over 6 months, I believe. And then we also have Jon Moxley, who hasn't defended his title since the end of February, but since there was like 3 months of state of emergency, that's going to push that time out so we can erase those and basically start June, July. So we're sitting at only 2 months. So he basically has 4 months until he actually has to defend the title. What they're going to do with that is still completely up in the air, as Americans definitely can't get to Japan, and pretty much no one else can come into Japan as well. So are they going to make an exception and have the U.S. title defended on U.S. soil? That is going to be an issue with Jon Moxley's AEW contract, because he's not allowed to work within the United States or Canada, I believe, as for outside promotions. But could they make an exception since it is for New Japan? It's probably not going to be live, and they could shoot it maybe in California at the LA Dojo like they did for the Young Lions show that just finished up. That would kind of make the most sense. I don't see AEW being too stingy on this one. I think New Japan just needs to figure out what they're going to do. If Jon Moxley in the next 4 months cannot even travel to Japan, which, given the track record of the United States at this point, given the pandemic, Japan probably is not going to be letting any Americans in anytime soon, even if they do open up to others like New Zealand or something like that, who have no outstanding COVID cases at this point. So that is the news wire for today on That's Wrestling. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this as a podcast, you can get this audio as a podcast. Just search That's Wrestling Newswire on all your favorite podcast apps, and then you can just get the 8 to 10 minute clip of this show, and you don't have to watch the video here on YouTube. If you like to listen to the entire rundown of the Sengoku Lord show, we will be doing a full review tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on the YouTube channel, and of course that will be on the Made podcast feed as well. So thanks for tuning into the Newswire, and I'll see you next time on That's Wrestling. See you later, guys.